Donald ought to come in ready to hand it to you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm sure if we want to do that, we have to make a motion.
Well, during his term,
That
he
if you are president, elect the president, and you elect them,
promoted executive privilege and,
Pardon himself.
yeah, pardon himself. There's no telling what might happen during his term.
Hey,
All right.
so we can, I'm gonna make a motion. Please don't do
Good morning, Hickory Sunrise.
Morning.
that. Morning.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, do we have someone scheduled, or shall pray with me, please?
I think you're on.
I'm on.
Oh,
That's right.
Steve, then, please.
Yes, Lord God, thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for life, health, and strength. And thank you, Lord, for being able to assemble around this table this morning, Lord, with like-minded people who believe in service above self. We pray that this meeting be done decent and in order. And we pray for all the Rotarians that are here and those who are not. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Sergeant at Arms.
You showed that for a lot.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's
Good
everyone
morning,
this
Mr.
morning?
Watch it now.
Okay, this assignment was given to me, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna pay $1 fine because I really didn't prepare anything out of the Rotary magazine to do this. It didn't dawn on me again until yesterday. So I'm gonna pay $1 fine. If anybody else would like to pay $1 fine,
I'll do $1 to the bucket in honor of your forgetting.
that would look good on my part. At least I will have $1 in there for,
Mr. Sargent, Hey, welcome. I like to, since you don't have any, I like to make a motion that we amend our way of doing things, and that if you're a president-elect or president and you're late,
No,
that your
Dr.
fee
Wait, no.
goes up to
Jenny.
from $1 to $5.
Whoa!
Yes.
And I second.
Howard, the second.
Third.
Think about what you're doing. Almost everybody in this room's a past president.
No.
Past.
President.
President-elect or president.
Oh,
President,
president.
That's right. And now you can, yes, sir. Motion and a second and a third.
okay, now I need $1 from you, sir.
I got $1. We got
No, I need another $1 from you. You're just rambling on.
He catches on quick.
We got it.
It's in the
That's for what's-
Yeah, must be.
Bob's up 4.
I'm sure you
Sir,
can take care of that quick.
Sir, that is all I have at this moment.
Thank you.
Until that door opens
Motion on the
again.
table.
I'm passing that to him. I don't decide motions, or he's the man.
You can't make a motion.
I've seen you motioning.
Yeah.
I've waved at you before, haven't I?
So we have a motion on the floor.
And a second, and a third.
And a second. And please restate the motion for
That if you're past president, that you're president-elect or president and you're late, then you pay a $5 fine instead of a $1.
If you're gonna set an example for the clubs,
That's right.
We need to hurry.
Oh, we got time.
effective what date?
Immediately.
and who wants to be president-elect now?
Nobody.
Is there a sunset provision in this?
No, we don't sunrise. We sunrise.
Call the question.
So, just to remind you that from the political front in our country,
He's stalling.
there has been a lot of discussion about pardoning.
Well, you have the authority to do that for a couple of days.
You know how they do it on the end of their run?
That's right.
2 weeks and 4 days to go,
That's right.
guys, to the end of the year.
Not that he's counting, mind you. All right. Then, I'm hearing no further discussion, the chair unwillingly will call the question. And feel like I'm riding on the railroad here. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay.
I'm going to oppose, because I'm currying favor with the incoming president.
We got it.
All right.
The motion
Drop
does
that
carry.
gavel.
Yeah, that's right.
Motion does carry.
I also think a man that brings a man in that talks about healthy eating, vegetables, weeds and all, just swallow the whole donut.
That's because he's not here.
He'd have done it one bite, he's
That's
afraid he
right.
bite his
He
fingers.
should be fined.
And I did pay my fine, right, Kenny?
Yes, now he's down to 3.
He's at 3 now.
He did pay the fine, and
Okay.
for just a quick bit of general discussion from last week, you know, that talk was just full of all kinds of truth and honest to goodness healthy living tips. And there's a reason why most of us don't do that stuff.
Did you see that stuff?
I mean that video of the spread for lunch was
Looked good, didn't it?
it made you want to make the bunny rabbit twitch to your nose. You
Wow.
know, when you looked at it.
Yeah,
I told Kenny I'd put that stuff on top of a cheeseburger.
Sort of remind me of jungle survival training.
I kid you not, though, I was on 90 units of insulin morning and night when we went to Morocco. And after 3 days in Morocco, if I didn't drop that shot to 20 units, I would go hypo. I would just, you know, it really makes a difference.
Oh, it does. It's true. You know, it is true for healthy living. It's just that
It's just painful.
then you just don't really want to do that.
But I saw him healthy eating down here. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it was a matter of seconds he had consumed.
Well, in
that
Bob's
donut.
defense, it wasn't a whole donut, it did have a hole cut out of the middle of it.
Yeah, it's a whole donut as we know it.
Yep, that's
Right.
right.
And he benefit to the new legislation.
Yes, early. We need to
Well,
discuss something.
I think I want to give him a pass to
No pass.
That was not part of the motion.
But he can,
Don't
pardon
But
me.
he can't.
That's right, you can't target.
Does anybody remember that song that said dig a little deeper in the well?
Don't bother. Don't bother.
No,
No.
no, 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 no.
No.
We just, thank you, Jen.
No.
So,
You better take a dollar back out of the blue bucket. You
why,
There's a bigger fish on the
Okay,
table.
let's just listen.
We passed a new, go ahead, Mr. President.
Yeah,
thank you.
you get to carry this.
That's right.
Yeah, you do.
By the power invested in me in my office, I do hereby invoke pardoning coming in late.
Okay.
Take that.
Now, please make him aware of the new legislation.
Yes.
In your absence, there was a motion railroaded onto the floor in the midst of the Sergeant at Arms time. I was disappointed that the Sergeant at Arms wasn't clever enough to figure out a way to squash it.
But I did get a fine out of it.
You did get a fine of it.
I was fine with it.
Raising the late penalty to $5 for the president and the president-elect.
For being tardy.
Now, I dissented along with one other dissenting vote, but it wasn't enough to squash.
Hey, get that stuff off your nose, please.
So that's where we are.
And
$5?
it originated at that end of the table.
Hey,
I imagine.
and I'm the senator from Alabama, and I said it.
Lower Alabama, I suppose.
Whatever, all over the state.
LA,
No lower. This is your. This is
what you're handing over to me.
I am.
Your last
I
day.
am.
Yes,
You
you
can
did.
see.
Everybody pardoned you, so.
You can see what a disaster my presidency has been.
Well, I want to tell you this. I'll say it like this, and careful of the adverbs I use. Okay.
Mr. Hunt, I'm a filibuster.
No. I'm not giving that.
Well, I have another issue that I need to
No,
discuss.
I really want to tell him that I thank him
That's
an
what a
awful
filibuster
lot.
is.
Mr. President.
I thank him an awful lot, awfully
Mr.
lot.
President,
Wait, I'm about to begin some.
I am awfully grateful. Awfully grateful. Awfully grateful. No, awfully grateful. That's the adverb. The adverb modifies the adjective, okay? I'm awfully
All right.
grateful.
I'm filibuster.
The Rocket Man.
Even Gerald Ford didn't talk that much. He pardoned Nixon.
Oh, my goodness.
But the bylaws and constitution do not speak against or for you pardoning yourself
That's correct.
That's right.
as the president.
Well, I'm right on that, right? I do believe. I believe I'm about to be at this time.
I just thought I'd help you.
I really suspect I'm at that kind of point in history where I'm going to see that manifested from the top down.
What is he talking
He just filibustered.
No, I think that that President Trump has on the table the right to pardon himself.
I'm just talking about you. I wasn't going there.
And so,
I learned it from my president.
and so we move on from this topic onto something of a little more of immediate concern, and that is June 21st at 6 p.m. at Piedmont Wagon. This fine club will be assembling for our end of the year awards, installation of new officers, and such. We need to know who's going to be there. So, you ready to take notes on this?
I'm taking notes. I should mention one thing.
Well, pass a sheet of paper.
When we do our head count, we need to include 6 from district most likely.
It's going to be a little difficult, but we probably should try to be on our best behavior to the district folks. No motions about fining past presidents would be accepted. Yes, sir.
In the past, I think we sort of gathered starting about 5:30, so that we can eat pretty close to 6.
Okay, so there you go. Gathering at 5:30, eating close to 6. Is that good with your catering folks, Steve?
My catering folks.
Yes, while you were gone, we learned this now. While you were gone, we decided that because you had the best price on catering for the meal that you had, that I'm just telling you, I'm upping you up, I'm bringing you up to date.
He's talking about
Okay?
Western steer.
Western steer.
Yeah, I know. I was just messing with you.
Thank you. I was just about to need resuscitation.
We also agreed to pay, I think it's $10 an hour for the server.
Yep.
It's only a couple hours.
Right.
We gotta learn how.
Okay. So, do you care to pass around paper, or do you want to take the notes?
Donald, you gonna be there?
Yes, I will be there, my wife will be there, my
When
daughter.
are you flying to Toronto?
Next morning at 6 a.m.
Okay, Donald, +2.
Plus,
You said Candace and Dina,
and 3 kids.
+5.
Yes.
This is impotent for him.
That's
Yes.
right. It really is.
Jim,
2.
Jim +2 or Jim total 2?
Total 2.
Waller,
Yeah, 2.
+1. Blank, Steve.
Joe.
Oh, Joe, couldn't see
I can't
Joe.
be there. I've got to be at Western North Carolina annual conference. So
Joe, no. Steve,
1.
you +1?
Yeah.
Great.
2
Ron +2 or Ron?
plus 1.
Ron +1. Michael?
3.
Michael +3?
Okay, why is he like, oh, I got somebody come with me? No, me and 2 people probably. Just me and 2. 3 people.
Michael
One on each
+2.
arm.
Plus 2. Yeah, each one.
Bob?
Probably not.
0, 0?
0, 0.
Well, gee whiz. Past
president.
Past
I'm not
president.
What's the
Glenn?
deal with us?
Plus 1.
Glenn and 1. What are the kids gonna do that night?
I don't know, you don't want all 6 coming over.
I do. but
Break the
that's me.
bank.
Yeah, I've been doing
Was that
that.
$10 a part? No, I can do it if,
Lynn, what'd you say, bud?
+1.
Got it. Jen?
I will be in Virginia.
Okay.
Sorry.
Does that mean you're not gonna be there?
So I will not be there, no. I apologize.
Rick?
+1.
Kenny? +2. Gavin?
Me for sure, I don't know if I'll have +1 or not, depends if Lee's working.
Gavin plus maybe.
Phil
Phil.
+1.
Reinhardt, 0.
You not gonna be there?
No.
It's on the way to Toronto.
Yeah, if we could have gotten it scheduled earlier, I could have changed my travel plans, but I'm out the door.
Well, can we change the date of this? Too late.
No, no.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Reinhardt, put me +1, just question mark it.
Okay.
and
Anybody else know for sure?
21st.
So,
Need to take me off.
take you off?
Yeah.
21st is gathering.
So it's-
5:30.
I've got 3 meetings that day.
Being all white.
That doesn't have nothing to do with this.
No, it's,
Walter,
oh, wait.
let's get it straight, Walter.
Don't mark it yet.
Don't mark it
He's
yet.
digging.
I'm trying. No, I'll be there.
Just back in the day.
Are you gonna be there with your guests too?
Yes.
Thank you, Walter, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
So, to recap for what likely will happen that evening, although I can assure you that our club is so energetic and so spontaneous, there's really no guarantee of exactly what might transpire. But we will recap the year that I've been president. Donald will have some opportunity to speak on what he plans
No.
for the year that he will be president. We will install new officers. Teresa Biggs on the schedule.
She's on schedule.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We'll be installing new officers. Will we have a chance to meet some scholarships?
She said she was going to get them and their parents to show up. We had talked about it being a surprise to them, but she said it couldn't be. Because they had to be given out at their high schools, so they know who they are, but they will be.
Do we know what that head count might be?
Do not. I know we're supposed to be 5 kids and parents, but Teresa might know.
Will Teresa introduce these folks?
I hope so. I don't have their, you don't have their names?
I do not.
Okay, good.
I mean, I have some of the names, but somebody will introduce them.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be as many as 15 then.
No, I don't think it's gonna be a total.
You don't think all 5 kids will show?
Can we get a kid, Ken?
So, we'll check.
Well, you're the one that needs to know to tell Western Steer, so.
I've already told Western State, they're ready. We said 50 people.
We're over 50.
No, we're not.
Can I interject something right quick?
You just did.
Okay, normally I don't feel that I would take Wayne's position that I had, but can anyone in here, if you would, raise your hand if you heard that bell ring to start this meeting?
Yes, we did.
Give him.
I never heard it.
Oh, I rang it.
He
Rang
did.
it.
Yeah.
You're lying.
He did it in the wrong order, but he did
Oh,
it.
he did it in the wrong
Yeah,
order.
he said, "Good morning, Hickory Sunrise." Ding.
Danny.
I did not hear the ding. Okay, I'm sorry.
I heard it.
So, we had discussed to try to get back on
We're at 51, based on all good guesses. So we're okay.
That's including the ones that we don't know.
Yes.
Okay. Because I would say,
Yes, that includes my good guess about how many students could show up with their parents.
Well, if we need to increase that, I need to know it.
yeah.
Well, no, that's 51, that's allowing 15 for students.
although we have some folks not here today.
Well, hopefully we'll have some non-regular attendees, maybe come, so we'll try to get that number ahead of time, I hope.
Yeah, maybe we should bump it up to 618, just to play it safe.
Yeah.
I'll call it there.
Okay, so, going back to the scholarship candidates and Teresa, we had decided that we really wanted to avoid any sense of parading people and look how wonderful we are and how needy and downtrodden you are. So we really want to make this into a positive, these fine folks are here because of their academic achievements and such. So, how do we accomplish that? Is that something that Teresa on her own can do? Do we need to help support that? Is there something that I need to do?
I wouldn't get too deep. These fine students have been awarded a $1,000 scholarship from Hickory Sunrise Rotary.
Period.
There you go.
But I think you ought to be saying that, not Teresa.
Okay.
On
For the
behalf of the
academic
club.
achievements.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, I would just drop the period at the end of they've been awarded the scholarship, because they may not be the greatest scholars or whatnot, so I would just leave that piece out too. We're giving you this opportunity.
Okay.
I wouldn't even mention them. Mention CVCC. Say Hickory Sunrise Rotary, in conjunction with CVCC, has set up a scholarship program. This year's recipients are.
That works too.
And congratulations.
Because then you skirt around everything.
Okay.
That's a better
Okay.
way of saying it.
Good. All right. Thank you. So, anything else that we need to discuss about we will, once again, have the opportunity to watch the video of the refurbishment of the building.
That's our payment for using the
It's our
room.
payment for using the room for free. It's worth it to, and there will be, in fairness, there will be some folks who haven't seen the video.
I'm almost memorized.
Yeah, that's right.
I can never see it too many times.
There you go. That was excited. I'm excited. Anything else about the meeting before we move on? Everybody squared away on what we're doing?
Bill, either you or Donald will be presenting a coffee holder deal to Andrew.
Yes.
Who's there? I think he's their new HR person. Anyway, he's the one I've been coordinating with. And then Wayne has made something special for Richard Schwartzel, the CEO.
Okay.
He won't be around, but we'll present that to Andrew to present to him. And I can't remember what Wayne said it was. I'm sure it'll be a pretty nice deal made.
Should I present to Teresa? For her collection?
I would think so.
Yeah.
For her being there to do the installation?
She's gotten a lot of those. Help me with this, Steve. I would suggest we make a $25 or $50 donation to foundation in her name.
That's a good idea.
That's a better idea.
Then I'll entertain a motion for that. You making that motion?
I'll make a motion. We put $50 toward the foundation in honor of Teresa Biggs.
I second.
Any discussion on that? Calling the question then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any
I'm
opposed?
opposing from the last thing. Still opposed about that fine that you got to make. So I'm just opposing just because I can.
It's just
Motion
contrarian
carries
DNA.
with one little bit of contrary thoughts. All right, thank you. So I will announce that as well. Well, should I announce that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you also need to announce that Mike will post it.
I felt
And
I'm
Teresa
still a
should know.
citizen of Alabama and I don't care.
I think you're acting more like the governor from Alabama.
Oh!
Sounds like it's bad.
Uh-oh.
How do you find yourself?
With dignity.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you about dignity in the picture of me on the table.
On the whole.
We are known for
Okay.
our.
What was his name? Schultz? I know nothing.
That's right. Okay, so that's it for the dinner. Thank you all for
Who
your.
am I giving the coffee holder to?
If you're paying the card.
This goes to
Andrew.
Andrew.
Who is Andrew?
He's the HR person from Piedmont Wagon who's arranged our attendance at their facility.
Okay. HR. My way.
Then you want to carry them?
So, for arranging,
Just for his courtesies.
Okay.
Not Piedmont Wagon, what's the name of the company?
Cornerstone?
Cornerstone, yeah.
Cornerstone something?
United. Cornerstone United, yes.
The company name.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
what's
for
Andrew's
Bob,
last name?
Ron Harlan, we're gonna have a, sort of, maybe try to get a final head count around Monday or so for Steve and for Piedmont.
Well, we've got a commitment for 60 right now. My tentative head count, based on my own intuition, is 61, so I think we're in good shape.
51.
No,
But that
61.
includes how many
Because I
students?
listed who's not here and who's likely to come. I think Rochelle's not gonna make it, Mark B's not gonna make it, Gerardo's not gonna make it, Rob Conrad's not gonna, Dan Green will come with one of his students, Wayne will come with his wife, Kenny will come with one, Mac will come with two, total 2, Austin will come with his wife, and that makes another 10.
How many students and parents do you?
5 and 10, so 15.
Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest question.
Okay.
That's a big guess.
Yeah. So need to try to finalize that number.
Well, that's what Steve's gonna do, right? You're gonna find out what students are coming and how many parents?
I think if we give Cornerstone a count of 60, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because we still
Yes, Western Steer that needs to count of 60.
Same thing,
Not-
turkey chicken.
Not
I've
Cornerstone.
already sent a text asking for 60, so.
Yeah,
Boom.
Boom, boom.
Just like that, taken care of, thank you.
one and done.
What's Andrew's last name?
Andrew's last name, anybody know?
Does Ron know Andrew's last name?
You can look it up on the internet.
Ron Leach, you know Andrew's last name?
No, but I'll find out.
Cornerstone United.
Also, anybody that's not been there before, we enter on the west entrance, not the front door that faces the railroad tracks, but around, if you face the front door, around to the left, those double glass doors, that's where we enter, because we go right into the break room, where we have a dinner, and we move upstairs. No food upstairs, I think it's okay to take your drink, but then we move upstairs for our business meeting.
And for those of you who are truly Hickory kind of folks, who don't work on compass directions and work on where things used to be, the best I can say is that would be the side of the building that faces towards where the Pepsi plant used to be in Longview.
Ah.
And the Granger building.
Along the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And where the fire started.
That really goes back. Okay, enough of that silliness. Budget. Dr. V?
Speaking of more silliness, I did not, I ran out of paper, so I don't have enough copies to go around. I have 4 copies here, if anybody wants to take a look at it. Did not change from last week. I sent it to you guys again.
Yep.
The only difference, last week says draft.
Yeah, and it still says draft on it.
Draft and
Until
draft.
it's approved. And just to recap,
You want a copy?
that
You send a copy down, please, sir.
To quickly recap, well, I'm not changing the assumed numbers at all because it doesn't impact the budget.
Right.
All that does is impact our status, whether we're a small club, medium size, and so on and so forth. But the total income we are suggesting, predicting we want to get is $38,235. That's going to be the same for the outgo. That's that table there. Same for the outgo. Nothing major. The only differences, I have to take the H out of Hickory in the soup kitchen. But we've added the soup kitchen to Classroom Connections, Hickory High's JROTC, and Veteran Stand Down. That's things we continue to do. Steve had suggested that we keep the RI international expense as an ongoing line item. There was no objection to that, so it's in there. And we can always keep it in there. If it's used, it's used. If it's not, it just rolls over. No other major changes. There's been no changes from what you all saw last week, what we've been discussing. And I am presenting it as the head of the budget committee. I am the committee. No, actually, Glenn and I are the committee. And on behalf of Glenn and me, I am presenting this. Since it comes out of committee, does not need a second.
It's open for discussion.
It's open for discussion now.
If you did it like in Raleigh, we just do it and done.
But we would do it at midnight.
We don't want to do anything like they do in Raleigh.
Amen.
That's why we need a new senator there.
So,
And,
we just need a discussion. If we have no discussion, I think it's,
Let's pass it.
okay. Call the question.
Hearing no discussion, then I'll call the question. All those in favor of the proposed budget signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Michael?
Thank you.
I do not oppose that.
Thank you, thank you.
Good job to
Thank you
Rick.
for our budget committee.
Thank you, and Glenn.
Rick and Glenn, thank you very
Okay,
much.
now, that's one.
Uh-oh.
That's been approved. Now, we don't necessarily have to approve it today, but I think we ought to approve it soon, and that is the carryover that we have. You know, Glenn has passed around almost 2 or 3 times a month what our balance is, and it's over 30,000, Glenn?
Oh, yeah. 38.
All right, so in other words, at the end of this fiscal year, we've got $38,000. Okay? Make believe we don't have anything, and that's what this budget does.
right.
So the 38,000 is over and above this budget. How low can we go with that 38,000? We need to keep something in there. What number do we not want to go below? Am I making sense?
20.
I would say
I would
20.
say
20.
I'd say 25.
Oh,
We got
2250.
Good,
How about
23.
22.75.
22.50. Mr.
8
Hunt.
cents.
25.
I'll go with 25.
I'll go with 25.
Okay.
Okay, now, all right. Having said that,
Puts 13 at risk.
having said that, what we're looking for on income in order to make sure we have enough money for what we say we're going to spend it on, we have our retained earnings as $5,900. So what do we have? 30 what?
36.
36. Okay, because that will take 6 out of the 36. We still have 30, and we're saying our base of C is going to be cap's going to be 25. All right. And again, it's something we can address each and every year depending upon what our financial situation is. But right now, what we're going to say is, if it meets with the approval of the club, we won't go below $25,000. Now, that means that as the year goes on, and we are spending more from our discretionary charitable contributions and so on that we said we were going to spend, Glenn has to keep an eye on the budget. And he'll remind us we're getting close to the 25,000.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
It can all be amended by full vote.
Oh, yeah, okay, and most definitely. But we have to at least, again, this helps with our transparency. We know where we are. We know we said we're not going to go below 25,000 on that contingency. If we get close to it, Glenn will let us know.
Bring it to the.
And we'll make the decisions accordingly, either to cut back on our spending or to take more out of the fund. The club will decide.
Yep.
I just want to say how, that just make note, people don't know how wonderful this is to have this discussion. And what we were.
Amen.
So, it's 10 years ago, so we're discussing saving when we didn't have, and it's just,
We were operating on a $3,000 budget total.
So just
With no
people
carry.
don't know, this is
Yeah.
excellent, this is outstanding.
Question for Glenn, where is all of our, that money, all of our surplus in checking account?
2 accounts. There's a savings that gets 0.02%, and then the checking gets no interest.
Should we consider maybe 15 grand going into a CD, a 2-year CD? Or
Well, Wayne or somebody, who brought that up last meeting?
I think I did.
Okay, then, we haven't
seems like we ought to be try to get 2 or 3% anyway.
Yeah, I think if we start getting, we gotta be careful with the IRS rates on that. Maybe we need to check with our.
As long as we stay below 50, but I'll check. Yeah, once we go over 50,000 in income, I think, or proceeds coming in, then that's where it triggers, and so far we've been in good shape on that. So,
I'm sorry?
I'm pretty sure there's no IRS considerations just for putting it in, it's an account, you can see it as an account.
And there is no IRS
And we're not
consideration for retained assets. For example, Valdez has 180 odd.
it just complicates, when you get over that 50,000, it's either balance or income. I'll go back and look. Then we have to file different stuff.
It's income.
It's income
Than
and
what,
there's
than
no
what
charge
we
on that
would,
file
yeah.
back.
That's all. It's just more stuff to file,
That
but
discussion.
it can be filed.
Bob?
Yeah, I guess, what was our last discussion with, we may want to reconsider that figure because we haven't determined where our income is coming from for next year. We will still have the spring dance on the table. So with that being said, we have less income, potential for less income next year.
But the budget reflects what we think we're going to bring in.
Yeah, but the spring dance, is that going to be part of the budget or not?
Well, it is.
It is.
What we're saying is we're gonna have something.
Something is part of it.
And because of that, I wouldn't necessarily change it right now, Bob, because if we find that whatever we do in the spring is gonna be projected a whole lot less than we had assumed, we can always amend this at any time.
And keep in mind that there's both income and expense set aside for the spring event. So it's not.
Very true.
It is impactful to the budget, but it's not quite as huge as you might first think. If you forget that if we don't have a dance, well, we don't pay the band, we don't da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we lose a bunch of revenue, absolutely. I mean, we will lose income of thousands of dollars, no doubt. But
The expenses will also not be
the
there.
expenses will go down, the income will go down more, so there is a negative impact to the bottom line. And now we get an opportunity to speak louder without trying to raise our voice in anger as we overcome the thing. So, yes, good point, well taken. And we do need to keep in mind, and this will be a challenge during Donald's
With
term.
that being said, we are, here I go again, we're 16 odd weeks out from the dance, and I don't think anybody in the room, including myself, has sold any advertisement or anything.
I've got to.
That's true, but I don't think we've even had that discussion started.
Yeah, we kind of, Donald brushed in on it a few months ago, but we haven't really.
But what we've agreed is that everybody has a job to do. And so, if you don't know what your job is, I'll send it back to you again. Everybody had picked up a job, and we're going to, Rick and Tucker are going to mentor us forward in our jobs. They are not going to have to do every job. We're going to go in this, tell them this is the way I think I should do this job. Am I jumping off the cliff? Okay? And that's the way I see it, and that's what we had kind of agreed upon.
I will interject one thing. The easiest money made is those ads. That is the easiest money made.
Well, I don't think, we just haven't talked about it yet. Because we're trying to get things.
We can start that with your first meeting.
Okay, let's make certain that, tell you what, first meeting will be at the camp. Okay? On July the 11th. July the 11th, we'll have a meeting at the camp, at the basketball camp in Newton, at Grace Reformed Church. We serve you breakfast, so we'll have that meeting. But that first meeting, even there, we're going to talk about is that dance. Deal?
But if you've got somebody that you think would want to buy the letters that I sent out last year,
Yes.
I will personalize the letters to whoever you think it would be. Dr. Jones, Dr. such and such, whatever. You just let me know. I'll personalize the letters and have it with the price list and everything else.
Okay. Have we had enough discussion on the budget?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll raise the question.
I had one
No, we
suggestion.
voted. It's already been approved.
Oh, we did?
We
I
voted.
didn't remember hearing the vote.
We voted.
Okay.
Yeah,
Michael
we
did
kind
not-
of, we jumped
did not
off
dissent.
this idea of the
That's
CD
right.
Yes, we did jump off the idea of the CD.
without anybody deciding anything.
Glenn, will you look into and report back to us,
Yes.
please, what sort of rates are available? We would be looking for an FDIC insured.
Right. With BB&T,
Yeah.
that's who we,
That would be
Yeah.
nice, and
Okay.
and they're probably competitive. But
You missed it by 3 days. They ran a special end of last week.
we can't afford to start an actual honest to goodness investment, I don't think, but at least, and something with a liquidity of, I would suggest nothing longer than a year. In case we do need to dip into it, we don't want to have to be too terribly penalized.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you could get us some terms, like 6 month, 1 year, 2 year, what the rates are, we'll try to keep that decision off of your back, but just give us the info, and we'll go with that. Thank you for bringing me back on that. Okay.
I'll do it.
Concerning meetings, as Donald brought up the meeting schedule, we will meet on July the 11th at the basketball camp. We will not meet on July 4th because it's a holiday event. We will not meet a week from today because we're meeting for the dinner the next night.
But we will meet on the 27th.
We will meet on the 27th. And if we don't have a program scheduled, I will take care of the program for us on the 27th.
Rick, are you gonna do next year's assignment?
Yeah, I will, good point.
Okay.
I will.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would like to have a program brought in, but this gentleman would probably need more than 20 minutes. I don't know if we can get an extension on it or what, but he would love to come in and talk to us. He's retired Special Forces,
How much time does he need?
about 40 minutes.
Well, we can do that.
Yeah, we just wouldn't do any business.
We can organize that.
Yeah, let's make it
We
happen.
can do that.
He just can't be on the 20, when is the president coming?
Oh,
20.
Isaac.
Yeah.
August 22nd, is it?
Don't make me lie right now, I don't have it. Let me see if I have it here.
22nd of July? No,
August.
August, okay.
Okay.
For those of you who haven't met Isaac, it'll be,
That's the district governor, right?
That will be the district governor.
District governor. It will be something you remember.
Okay.
He is just as full of energy, oh my goodness.
And when is that? August 22nd.
Donald's working on it.
I don't have it down here.
So we will meet 2 weeks from today. We will not meet next week. We will not meet on the 4th of July. We will meet here 2 weeks from today. We will meet on the 11th at Donald's basketball camp in Newton. Good.
Professor Reinhardt, you are teaching at camp again this year? I believe I'm scheduled to. Okay. That's a real treat if you haven't seen the professor at work and all.
The
He
solar.
knows he comes up with the kids.
Yep,
Don, what's the name of the church again?
Grace Reformed Church. Thank you for asking. I'll pass out an address. Just pass it around, everybody get one of those. You know, some kids who need to work off some energy, give them one of those.
Okay.
Great event.
What is that little deal we're doing there?
It's,
I know where it is.
That's all it
And as you can see on that, it says partial scholarships, co-chicks, about see co-chicks, partial scholarships. That means if the kid doesn't have money, he's coming to camp. Money's not gonna stop him from coming to camp. It's never stopped any kid from coming to camp. We'll find the money, we'll find what it takes to feed him, take care of him just like every other kid. So we're not worried about that.
Do you have a cap on the number that can be there? Have you ever maxed out?
We've had up at the old place, we had 115 at one time. We know that we can handle 100, so that old place, 115 was kind of crowded. And so, no, we're not. We got space to spare.
Is this a different place than from last year?
No, same place.
Same as last year, yeah.
He had it's like Hickoryism. He had an old place.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other business for us to discuss?
Yes.
Yes, there is. Darn, thought we were gonna get out early for a
Well,
change.
just need to let you know, I'm gonna send Gerardo a drop dead letter, because I've been to his place 4 times, I've emailed him, I've texted
Can you word it a little differently than that?
Man,
Gerard, drop it, no, listen, we might want to remove him from the rolls perhaps, but,
Yeah, anyhow.
End of membership.
We need to send that notice out, and, because I need to get him, we have, by the way, the 2 weeks and 4 days was not with respect to your tenure, that came from Bill Biddle with respect to his.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I'm about done.
Yeah.
So anyhow, understand that we will be notifying him that we believe it's his intention to.
And Scott Owens is making,
Scott's working on being in.
making progress on trying to stay in. That would be very good if we could keep him. He's a very good person in the community and great asset to the club.
Should we try maybe supporting him by having a meeting there at some point at his place?
He told me yesterday that he's trying to work out some kind of a special membership for him, so because he can't, it's very seldom will he be able to be there. And this summer his daughter needs to spend a lot of time with her.
He has access to the videos anytime he wants, and with the new council on legislation rules, we can decide if he is a member in good standing as far as attendance goes. And what a lot of clubs have done is 2 meetings a quarter plus 2 service events is sufficient to qualify as a fully attended member. So anyhow, we'll work something out. Okay. He's been really very good about letting me know that he's watched the videos. Phil, maybe we can plan on meeting there sometime soon, since we don't, maybe first meeting in August or something like that.
Okay, yep. Don will be thinking about that, and I'll be happy to help out in any way on that. All right, I think that's it.
Well, things within say or do, isn't the truth? Is it fair, well concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
I saw you looking at it, Steve. Yeah, I saw you looking at it. Eyeballing that sucker.
It's that same frequency as the tinnitus.
That is I.
anybody wants to take those donuts, feel free.
Donald's got the coaster.
David Franklin last night about an hour and a half.
I'm going to take another coaster just in case.
Burgers the worst, Morris. And either one will be for themselves.
Good, there's $1 in here.
Yeah, there's a national way of looking at
You want to talk about ducking out on the walkway? I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we're buddies, you know what I'm saying? He got 3 other things he gonna do that's important. You know what I'm
Actually,
saying?
I do. I have a 1 o'clock meeting with the city walk meeting at 3. I have a board meeting at the library from 4 to 5. And then from 5:30 to whatever, I go there.
But you know what I'm saying?
But actually, what I was thinking, that every Thursday night, except during the summer, I go to, Sunday go to American Revolution.
That's all right, you know, that's you see what he was doing, you know.
I've got a church meeting every Thursday night. Yeah.
Anybody take his donuts to anybody?
I'll take the
By the way,
and I don't take those.
I won't be at the,
Oh, well, I'll take them.
Now, see, Jim, I go grocery shopping every Thursday night.
I will be at the basketball
Don't
camp.
Thursday night, got me
You
get
won't?
the calendar.
I'll be in Colorado.
I can't go,
Yeah, you want me there?
but I'm gonna go.
I'm serious. Hey, I don't wanna hear any more people tell me they're not gonna be at camp. I don't care to hear it, I'm like the kid, I don't care to hear it, I'm not listening anymore.
Yeah, I bought my tickets, airline tickets like 3 months ago.
And you won't be there?
But I don't think they'll actually let me change them without a little financial.
Hardship.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
I'll think of some other word besides hardship.
Sometimes just chat with it.
We'll still wait to see what they got to do with that.
What time does that start?
The road is 6:30. You know?
Discussion.
You do that right away, didn't you?
Just check.
Yeah, sure.
I had forgotten about it.
I got it, not for that was the last Thursday of the month, I can make that one. And, that next time.
I will, of course,
Tomorrow's 14, you cannot make the 21st, is that what you're saying?
I can't make it this week.
Okay, but you can
Yes,
21st?
yes.
His name is Andrew. Oh, boy.
We're going to pick up my grandson.
Well, I can't make it 21st, that's our dinner.
I can't either then.
I'll be at the 28th, or whatever that day.
August 22nd, for those
Which
who are
one's
still
now?
interested.
When he's coming? Thank you. Thank you very much. So Kenny, you cannot have
You
a
want to put that in
program.
your notes, Rick?
Okay, that's fine.
22nd.
I'm just saying
August
anytime.
22nd.
Yeah,
I just wanna,
Yeah.
like
Took
I
me a
said.
while to get DAC DB.
talking about our year, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this, I'm gonna do the 100%
Yep,
all Harris.
yep.
Those are our recognitions that we received this year, is that correct?
Yeah.
man,
I'll take both of these and show them off.
there you go.
We should ask Wayne to bring our banner.
Yeah.
I believe he has.
Wayne gonna be
Well,
back?
Wayne's gonna be back. Should have gotten Kenny to do it.
Well, no,